All right, let's take a quick trip down memory lane. So I've been operating Paragon Tech for the last 13 years, and I've worked with a ton of law firms across various practice areas, solving different challenges and problems. One of the most common questions that I receive is, what is the value proposition, or what kind of problems do you solve with the firms that you work with? Now, I have to give kudos to my amazing technical team who solve so many different problems in the law firms that we serve. But my attempt in this video is going to be to break down that list of problems into a smaller subset so that I can give you some concrete examples of the types of problems our clients face and then ultimately what the solutions are. So in no particular order of importance, here we go. So I have to start off the list first with my very first case management system implementation project. This is really the catalyzing event that validated the decision to pursue helping law firms with the problems that they face. I remember this was in the very early days. I was called by the managing partner of an employment litigation firm. He's referred to me because of the fact that I had attended a networking group meeting and let individuals know that I was focusing exclusively on law firms and the problems that they face. So at this point, he was a complete stranger to me, but on our initial call, he dived into the problem that he was facing. So 1 year prior to our call, he had invested in a brand new case management system. He had implemented the tool. He had done the data migration with the outside consultant. He had performed the training for himself and everyone else in his firm, the staff and the attorneys. And ultimately, they found 5 days before their go live date that the new platform did not support a critical function required for the firm to bill, and that is leads billing. So for those of you not in the know, this is a specific legal billing model that relies on specific task codes and L code. Essentially, this is a legal billing language that allows firms and attorneys to capture, record, and then communicate time entries in a universally accepted format. So because of this oversight, the firm realized that this new case management system was a non-starter for them. They called me in to consult, recommend a new case management system that was compatible with their needs, and then to roll out that platform and train their users. So this was really my first experience operating in the space of case management systems, and we were hooked ever since then. It's actually become a core component of what we do nowadays. Number 2. We were approached by a commercial real estate firm who primarily serviced high-level institutional clients. Now, the owner of this firm was highly entrepreneurial. He thought like a business owner, and he was looking for ways to increase his firm's reach. Now, with the advent of AI, his thesis was that he could tap into a less sophisticated segment of the market by creating a tool that would leverage the law firm's institutional knowledge, all the forms, contracts, commercial leases that they had created over the years, and allow the attorneys to leverage this information to output their work product faster to serve more price-sensitive clients. The second phase of this engagement was to use the same tool that had just been built, but to create an online self-serve portal. Now, this would allow consumers to log in, answer a few questions, and then have their forms output. This would drastically reduce the reliance on an attorney so that the attorney only had to sign off on the final output to deliver those documents to the clients, making that an even more attractive and affordable option to an even lower segment of the marketplace. So we built the concept out, never fully rolled it out, but nonetheless, this served as a proof of concept of what's possible with current technology today. Now, I can only assume that as time goes on and the technology improves, you'll have an even higher segment of attorneys and law firms who leverage technology just like this. Number 3, this was a mid-market, primarily hourly-based billing, family law firm dealing with high net worth contested divorces. Now, in this particular firm, they realized that they had a limiting constraint, which is that whenever their matters required the production of discovery request timelines, which then would be turned into a motion to compel, clients would typically request write-offs and discounts on the invoices where this particular activity existed. So in this particular firm, what we did is we built a custom GPT, which would take all of the information, the correspondence between attorneys and opposing counsel, create that discovery request timeline, and output it for the lawyers. So while technically this was a reduction in billable time, when you look at the overall net effect, there was actually an increase in profitability due to the fact that most of this time was already being written off on the back end. Do we have time for a fourth one? Sure, let's do one more. This is a boutique estate planning firm that prided themselves on the customer experience aspect of their engagements. They would have typically a consultation, they would then draft the documents, then they would have a signing meeting, and off to the races. So it was very critical that throughout the engagement that the firm stayed in contact with the client, gave them regular updates, and then offered advice and feedback to help modify the best estate plan. So for this firm, we implemented a task flow that would automatically assign tasks to various members of the firm to move the matter forward, as well as to remind them to have these touch points with the clients. Once we had things running smoothly, we even used a tool called Hona to automate most of the client updates. This would allow the firm's members to move matters to the various stages and then to automatically have communication updates drafted and then sent to the clients based on an approved language that the firm set up initially. So this improved firm efficiency by 27% for the timekeepers and allowed that client experience to thrive, where clients felt like they were getting a very personalized experience that was specific to them. This ultimately created a finely choreographed client experience, which took most of the guesswork out of acquiring and retaining clients. So this is just a smattering of some of the issues we've solved for. As you can tell, they vary widely depending on the firm, the practice area, the composition of the staff, and various other factors. But I wanted to get a little bit more specific on some of the issues that we see and what the solutions are. So if you like this format, please let me know. If you don't like this format, I will take it under advisement. If you like legal tech tips, make sure to follow me on LinkedIn. And of course, go over to our YouTube page, Paragon Tech, where we have an exhaustive content library of testimonials, video product reviews, tutorials, and everything related to legal tech and running a better law practice. And until next time, peace.